So to get started today, we're going to make people with our Play-Doh. So if you have your Play-Doh in kind of a ball, you need to take your Play-Doh and tear it in half because we're going to make two people. So we're not going to make just one person, we're going to make two people. So you need two balls of Play-Doh. So people is what we're making. So in order to do that, I want you to take your Play-Doh and split it in half. So you have two pieces of Play-Doh because we're going to make two people. So you take one and put it down and then use one to make your first person. And you're going to pinch it off like this, pinch it off. And you're going to take it in your hand and you're going to roll it into a ball.
Miss Amy.
Yeah.
What if you have two pieces?
Then you can just use both of those and just use one whole thing.
All right.
But what you're going to do is you're going to pinch off some of one of your Play-Dohs and you're going to roll it into a ball like this where it looks like this. Then you're going to set it down and you're going to pinch off some more, and this time a little bit more than the head. And this time you're going to roll it kind of flat like this to make the body. And once you made the body, you got to make the body big enough to hold the head though. You don't want your head to be too big or it's not going to stick. So there's my head and my body, and now I need to make some arms and some legs. So you want to pinch off a little bit to make some arms, and you roll it not in a circle. You want to roll it flat in between your hands like this, like that, to make the arms. And then you want to kind of pinch them onto the body. So y'all have the ability to not have to pick yours up, but I'm going to have to pick mine up to show you. So if you want to leave it flat on the table to make sure your arms stick, that's fine. But this is how you roll arms and legs and body like that. Mine kind of looks like an airplane if you twist it this way. It's so stupid. But if you hold it like this, it looks like a person. Now I have a body, a head, and two arms. I pinch off a little bit more, and I can make some legs by doing this way. Pinch it off, make some legs, stick on there. I love Play-Doh. I like the way it smells. Yeah, I love it. I like the way it smells. All right, so here's my first person. I didn't even use all of my Play-Doh of that half. So I got my first person, and then I'm going to set it down, and I'm going to use my other Play-Doh ball. I dropped on the floor. My other Play-Doh ball to make the second person. I'm going to pinch off a little bit. And then for the head, you want to roll the head like this. Roll the head like that so it'll be round. Put the head down. Pinch off some more for the body. You want to pinch off a little bit more for the body than you do for anything else because the body's bigger than anything else. If your head is bigger than your body, then it's going to fall to the ground. So you want to make sure that your body's a little bit bigger than your head. Hold yours up again, Aiden. There it is.
I'm not done. I'm not done.
Cool. You got one more leg to go. So you're going to make two people, not just one person. You're going to make two people. And we'll get to why in just a second. But if you remember
Adam and Eve?
No, not Adam and Eve.
Oh.
I'm going to mute you, so I can talk. If you remember John chapter 1, verse 6, there was a man. Everybody? Yeah, man. There was a man sent from God whose name was what? John. The man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a what? Witness to testify about
the life.
The light. But yeah, the light who is the life. And so that's talking about two people right there. John and the light. The light is not a thing, it's a person. Came as a witness to testify about the light. And like Aiden said, that light was the what? Life. the light of men. He was the light. So you need to have two people, because in our Bible story today, in our Bible study, we're going to talk about two different people. So you need to have two people. I'm running out of Play-Doh from my legs. I'm going to have little stubby legs.
Oh.
My legs are going to be so short. That's how I am in real life anyway. Okay, so now I have my two people. See it? Two people. I have two of them. All right. Let's see if I can't figure out some stuff. Oh, pen. There we go. Ooh, draw. Uh-huh. Lines. Who is unmuted? Oh, you. I don't know how this works. Oh, there it goes. Whee! Okay, I got your two people yet? Not yet? Still working? While you're working on that, I'm going to ask this question. And if you know the answer to the question, or you want to say an answer to the question, then unmute yourself, okay? What is a witness?
Someone who sees something that somebody did. Like if
Okay.
somebody's in court, then it'll have a witness to tell them like what they saw or something.
Okay. Anybody else? What's a witness? Go ahead, A. Unmute.
Someone who watches.
Okay. Does the witness actually do or say the thing that they're witnessing to?
Yeah, no, yes, no.
Let me say that again a different way. Does the witness actually participate in the thing that they're witnessing about?
Yes.
Or do they just
Maybe.
see it happen?
They just see it happen.
They just see it happen. So they're not actually the one doing the thing that they're testifying about. A witness is a person who sees it or hears it and then tells it after they have seen it or heard it. So that's a witness. Next question. What does it mean to testify?
About the light, the truth.
Yeah, what does it mean to testify?
Say something, I guess.
Okay, to say something. What else? What does it mean to testify?
Letting the people so then they'll say the death of heaven. And then they won't just follow up.
What?
But they
Like say something very important, like testify. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, to say something very important is a good one. To bear witness, to tell a story, tell something they heard. So when we talk about this verse, there was a man sent from God whose name was John. That's why we made two people. So if you're finished, hold up one person. Let me see it. I want to see it. There we go. Hold it up like this. So the first part of the verse we're going to talk about tonight, verse 6, there was a man sent from God whose name was what?
John.
John. So look at your person and say, John.
My John is buff.
There was a man sent from God whose name was John. Then he came as a witness. So like Eli said, the witness tells about something that happened. The witness is not the one saying or doing the thing. The witness sees it happen or knows about it and is testifying about it. So John came as a witness to testify about the light. And where's your other person? Did you make two?
I did.
Mine smells so good. Oh, okay. The light. So, is John the light?
No.
No. That's why we made two people. John is sent from God as a witness to testify about the light. Y'all looking at me? John is the witness who came to testify about the light so that all might believe through the light, not through John. So, next. Tells you right there, is John the light? No. That's why we've made two people, because John is not the light. He came to testify or talk about, prepare the people for the light. And when the light came into the world, he showed everybody who God is and how to be forgiven from sin. So John came as a witness to testify about the light, but Jesus is the light. So that's what I want you to remember tonight, that the reason why we made two people out of Play-Doh is because John is a witness to the light that was coming into the world. So he came as a witness to testify about the light. He is not the light, but he came to talk about, testify about the light. So that is an important part of John. When we're memorizing John, we remember in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And that Word is the light, Jesus. It is not John, but John knows about this Word, and he is preparing the people to hear from the Word, the light. So two different people in this Bible story. So there was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify about the light so that all might believe through him. Why is that word him right there? Believe through him. Why is that capitalized? Go ahead, Abe.
Stop.
Yes. That's correct. Yes, if I'm not mistaken.
Right here. Why is this one capitalized?
Because they're talking about God.
Yes. So it's not talking about John. John is the witness so that all might believe through him the light. So it's talking about Jesus right there. John, this he right here, let me change the color of that. Okay. This he right here, who is that?
John.
Yes, John. He was not the light, but he came to testify of, he was not the light. He came to testify about the light. So, looking at these Bible verses right here, this is John 1 through, I think, 8. What do we know about John?
He was sent from God, and his name was John, and he was a witness to testify about the light.
So we know from this passage right here that the man's name was John, and he was sent by God. So that is a big deal right there. He was sent by God. He was a witness to the light. That means he's not the light himself. Is this John the same John who's writing the book of John? Tell me. Is this John right here the same John who's writing the book of John?
No.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not. When John is writing about John, this is John. Let me see if I can't get some text up in here.
I want to be doing it.
John the Baptist. John the Baptist is who we're talking about right here. So we know some things about John from this Bible verse. He was a man sent from God. He was a witness to testify about the light. Here's that list. That is not what I wanted to do. Oops, still learning Zoom, guys. There it is. It still has that stuff on there. There was a man sent from God. So we know that he was sent from God, and he's not the light. He's a witness to the light. I need to figure out how to get rid of this stuff that I put on there. Oop. Clear. Clear all drawings. There we go. Okay. Boop. Okay. The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. So there's some things that are not included in this Bible verse that I can tell you about John. Are you ready to hear it? Or wait, some of you might already know. What else do you know about John the Baptist? That's not in this right here. What?
He was like he wasn't like didn't have a lot of money and like ate like crickets.
Yes.
Is that right?
He ate grasshoppers, crickets, yeah. Anything else? What do we know about John the Baptist?
Isn't he the one that like killed a lion?
I don't remember that. He wore a camel
Didn't
hair.
he get like he got decapitated?
Yes, the queen got really mad at him and killed him and put his head on a plate. What else?
Yes.
Yes, on a plate. It was gross.
He baptized Jesus.
Yes. He did baptize Jesus.
Wait, they like chopped off his head and put it on a plate.
Yeah, the queen was pretty crazy. She was mad. So
Like it.
that's what happened.
Needed to listen to her parents.
What else? There's one more thing you're forgetting about John the Baptist.
I don't remember.
That he told everybody about Jesus' coming.
Yeah. Bore witness to the light. He told them at the river. And you know what? A lot of people followed him. He was crazy. Like Aiden said, he was eating grasshoppers. He was wearing animal skin. He didn't have any money. He was living in the desert, and he was preaching about the coming Messiah. And there was a whole bunch of people that listened to him, which is really cool. So if I start eating weird things and wearing animal skin, people are still going to listen to me. So it's weird. That's not true. That's not true. I do like to sniff Play-Doh, though. Anyway, John the Baptist was Jesus's cousin.
Yeah, because Elizabeth, who had John the Baptist, was like Mary's aunt.
Yes. So Elizabeth had John the Baptist, and John the Baptist is Jesus' first cousin. So do y'all have any cousins?
Me?
Hey,
I have
You have a lot of cousins, Aiden?
makeup,
15.
I love
Wow.
her.
I have a lot of cousins too. I have several cousins. So John is Jesus' cousin. And let me ask you another think about it question. Did John know before he met Jesus that Jesus was the Messiah?
Yes.
Really?
Oh, my bad.
No.
No, he didn't know. Until he met him at the river, he did not know that it was Jesus.
I was
who
right.
the Messiah. So no, he did not know about it. So what we know about John, there was a man sent from God. He is sent from God to have a job. What was John's job?
To testify and baptize people.
Give life to everyone.
Exactly. To prepare the way for Jesus to come. He was testifying, giving witness to a coming light. So we have two men that we made tonight because John is a witness to the light. He is not the light. So when we finish tonight, I want you to remember that. We created two people because John is the witness to the light that's coming into the world. John the Baptist is Jesus' cousin. He is sent by God. And verse 9, the true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. We're going to talk even more about that next week because we're going to talk about how Christ came here and he was created He was not created, but his body was created, and he came here in the flesh. So John 1, 1 through 9. Jesus, if we remember John 1, let's say it together. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning, which means this: Jesus was not created. That's a big deal. He was not created, and it means that Jesus is God, and it means that he created all things. All things were created through him, and apart from him, not one thing was created that has been created. So Jesus created all things, and this long thing that I'm going to type out for you. Still figuring out this new thing, guys. Here we go. Can y'all see this as I'm doing it? Eli, read what I'm typing.
Jesus shows us the truth. Jesus, the truth, gives light in the darkness. Caused by sin, and gives life.
Yes. So Jesus shows us the truth, gives light in the darkness, caused by sin, and gives life. So that's the whole section we've been talking about. For one, everybody hold up on number 1. 1. I'm waiting on Levi. He's zoned out. Everybody hold up on number 1. 1. Jesus was not created. 2. Jesus is God. 3. Jesus created all things. And 4. Jesus shows us the truth. He is the light in the darkness. So we have learned that so far, and this is so important. This is why we're memorizing John chapter 1, because those 4 things that I just talked about with you, those are huge things. And if we remember those in our hearts and in our minds, it helps us to remember that Jesus is creator and ruler of all things, meaning everything that's happening in the world. There's some scary things happening in the world. Aiden talked about his dad having to go to work surrounded by this germ, this disease, this virus. And so there's some scary stuff happening. We're having to stay in our homes and not be able to go out. So we have to remember that Jesus is the light in this darkness, and that because he created all things, he controls all things. So memorizing John chapter 1 helps us have courage. It helps us have hope, because Christ is the light in the darkness. So in remembering what we talked about, that's not
Miss Amy.
Yeah.
My dad has to wear a gas mask every day.
Yeah, see, that's some scary stuff.
And has to cover his body with like this blue thing.
That is some crazy type stuff. So memorizing John chapter 1 helps us remember who's really in charge here, and that's Jesus. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. So tonight we are talking about verses 6, 7, and 8. And that's why we made 2 people. There was a man sent from God. He's a witness to the light. So now that we're done with our 2 people, I want you to take them in your hands like this and squish them.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
Oh, okay.
Wait, let me do
Who? I never thought like in a million years there would be a pandemic.
Me neither, man. Never thought. But I will tell you, it's not the first time it's happened. Hundreds of years ago, there was this plague called the bubonic plague, or some people call it the Black Plague. Several years ago, even in my lifetime, there was this flu that was going around, not like the normal flu, not like COVID either. So this is not the first time it's happened.
Was it worse?
COVID.
I made a beautiful person, and I can't believe
Was it worse?
Smashed it.
It was not worse. COVID is the worst recently, but the bubonic plague, or the dark plague, was the Black Plague. Sorry, it was worse than COVID. It killed a whole bunch of people. So this is not the first time a pandemic has happened
Yeah.
in our world. It is in our lifetime, but not in our world. So also for you older kids in the room, this is not a judgment from God. God didn't send this virus to punish us. So that's not
There's a reason
why
behind
it's
it.
happening.
Punishing my dad.
What?
It's punishing my dad.
Well, it's punishing. It's the effect of sin. So just like cancer, just like other flu, just like any kind of disease that we have, it's because of the sin and the brokenness we have in the world. It's not because of personal sin that we have. It's because of sin in the world. So God did not send it as a judgment to punish individual people.
Making Bibles.
I like to smell it for real. It smells so good.
That's weird.
Abby, I think you've been playing with this one because it has glitter in it.
Wait, what?
I think you've been playing with this one because it has glitter in it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The next time that we meet together, we're going to talk about John 1, 9, and 10, maybe 11 as well. So I hope you're still memorizing your John chapter 1. I'm going to put you all on mute, and then, if I can figure out how to do that, let's stop share. Mute all. Continue. Okay, I want us to say John chapter 1 together, and you're going to be able to hear me, but everybody else is muted. So 1, 2, ready, go. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Y'all unmute yourself. Y'all messed me up. Oh, all things were created through him, and apart from him, not one thing was created that has been created. In him was life, and that life was the light of men. That light shines in the darkness, and yet the darkness did not overcome it. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. Mine's flat now. John is flat. He came as a witness to testify about the light, the true light that gives light to everyone. That's not it. I'm going to unmute everybody. Abby's saying the right one.
Light to everyone
Yeah.
was coming into the world.
That's probably why I messed up, because I wasn't singing it. Singing it is so much easier than trying to say it. It's so crazy. But John chapter 1, very important to memorize that. And we need to not just memorize John chapter 1. We need to also think about the words of that. John 1, verses 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, that's all about hope in Jesus. And then John chapter 6, verses 6, 7, and 8, that's all about the messenger that has come. So in thinking about that, we can also tell other people about Jesus. We can bear witness. Like Eli talked about earlier, witnessing is telling about something that you know. John was so passionate about witnessing about Jesus that he did everything he could to talk about the coming Messiah, the coming light. So we need to do the same thing as well. So leaving you with this, 2 people. In verses 6, 7, and 8, there is John and there is the light. And we know that the light is Jesus. He is the light in the darkness.
I do too.
I have a swing. I made a swing.
I don't usually make stuff with it though. I usually just sniff it, and I usually just hold it like this, and then I start smelling it, and then I just hold it like this some more. That can be so weird sometimes. I think I dropped some on the carpet.
I made a swing.
You made a swing? I can make a snake.
Hey,
No, that's mine. I make Tom.
No, we're not muted.
Hmm?
Mine is a pie.
Oh.
What there?
I'm gonna have a big one.
Yes. Make a hot dog. What'd you make, Sawyer?
He said he made a pie.
A pie?
Putting colors in mine.
I only have one color. There was some Play-Doh in here that was brown, and I was like, no, it looks like poop. It's brown. It looks like... Why would they make brown Play-Doh? It looks so weird.
I made a hot dog with ketchup.
Nice. I love ketchup. I put ketchup on everything.
Me too.
I
No,
only
for
put
real.
on my French fries and my hot dogs. I don't
I
really
only
like.
put it on
I don't really like
McDonald's.
hot dogs.
I love putting... I think I put ketchup on rice.
Disgusting, wrong. But they do.
Hey guys, I'm gonna pray for us. I'm gonna pray for us, and then if you go